Well, one of the great features of Winterthur is its amazing children's garden. And I'm here with Linda, the Director of Horticulture. And tell us a bit about the Enchanted Garden.
Enchanted Gardens is a little over 20 years ago. We created it. We wanted to help entice children to Winterthur in an environment that would be safe and welcoming and where they could use their imagination to play.
It's fun, though. That's fun.
Fun.
You can hear kids screaming and having fun doing all kinds of things.
The plants have grown in with the garden as well. We've made a few changes, but for the most part, the structures that we added back in 2000 are the ones that are still retained.
And they look great.
Here today.
They kind of age, they look like they've been around forever. So let's start with some of those features, though. Behind us will be what?
Behind us is the fairy cottage. And the wonderful thing about the fairy cottage is that it and a lot of the other features was created using found objects here at Winterthur. Mr. DuPont was a collector. Inside, outdoors, all kinds of little artifacts, and he would store these. So we looked at those, we cataloged those, we worked with the landscape architect named Gary Smith, who took photos of all of them, and then we incorporated them into the structure.
That was amazing well behind us,
This
isn't it gorgeous?
wonderful
All
wishing
natural
well.
stone, yeah.
Exactly. Mr. DuPont had collected that back in the late 60s. It was up in storage, so this really was a wonderful way to reuse some of these little fun objects that he had
And collect them all together. And it's a cozy feeling, isn't it? With the trees around and all the lovely full kind of mature plantings. I have to tell you though, one of my favorites is that witch's hat. So tell us a bit about that.
The witch's hat is wonderful. It is was a living tulip poplar that was on the estate. It was on our back property. It was starting to decay and we were starting to lose it. So we thought, well, this will be perfect. We'll go ahead and cut it. It was naturally hollow. So we added it to this area. We lifted it off the ground and give it a little extra protection. That wonderful witch's hat just gives it some character. So you can go in there and hide a little bit and pretend you're in a different little world.
Brilliant. Now I have to say one of the features that draws the kids in is this water feature in front of us now. Tell us a bit about that as well.
In our research for creating the garden, we knew they needed water in some form and capacity.
Got to splash your brother,
So
yeah?
a little splash, a little something to play in the water. So this is actually a trough from the dairy operation that Mr. DuPont had here on the estate. So that's from one of our barns. And then the pump that we have here is a special pump so the kids can pump that water, watch it go down through the spout, and then it will recirculate.
It draws a lot of adults as well, because I can see a lot of smiling adult faces around here.
Exactly. When they used to ask Gary Smith, our designer, what age he was designing for, he would say his age. So it was really for children of all ages will come. You can hear the laughter.
Oh, yeah.
This is just a wonderful, pleasant place to be.
Well, this is kind of speechless. This is it's a giant nest, isn't it?
This is a giant bird's nest. We weave it every other year.
Yeah.
Our arborist, wonderful crew, will collect the materials.
There's some grapevine, I think we've got
grapevine in there. There's some invasive plants that we need to clear out anyway, so we'll use them in here. Last year we enhanced it. We worked with the local blacksmith that did this wonderful ironwork.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, look at that.
Frame support for us, so it cuts down the weaving a little bit, and then when it's not, the branches aren't out, it's still a beautiful structure throughout the year. And we created a little peek hole off to the side, so the families and the children can peek out at mom or dad down below.
And 3 giant eggs, wooden eggs to play with.
Exactly, and those are made out of a lightweight wood, so they're easier to roll and actually pick up if the kids wanted to pick those up.
Well, I've had a really fun time here in the Enchanted Garden. But all the time I'm remembering that Winterthur is famous. If there was one time of year to visit, it's probably when the azaleas are out, yeah?
I would have to agree. If you can only visit once, come when the azaleas are in bloom, and you can give us a call or look on the website to let you know
See where
when
the
that's
timing
happening.
is, yeah.
Because that will change with each season just a little bit. But for those who are a little bit closer, I would say start coming. Well, actually, even in January, things change quite often in springtime, once a week. If you can.
Yep.
The fall is beautiful.
Well, any garden is magic, but this is a particularly magical garden. Thank you ever so much.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you very much.
Kids, you've got to come to the Enchanted Woods.